Hello and welcome to TGIF, the show for all of your things and general internet fun. Now today's episode is not going to be a normal episode because A, we're on time, and B, we're not doing our normal link thing. Now we're not doing our normal link thing because we're on time, and I'm going to show you some productivity things so that you can be on time. Yay! So last week, or the week before last week, I asked you all to tell me exactly what you guys do to keep track of time. Let's take a look at the tweets. Martin said, taps forehead. Seriously though, a whole heap of you pointed out sort of cool offline ways to keep track of tasks, which is awesome, but I wasn't really expecting cool offline ways to keep track of tasks because I'm a huge lover of cool shiny web appy things, and this is a show about cool shiny web appy things, but hey, whatever, we'll take a look at those later. First of all, here are some cool shiny web appy things. So the key in this field is a website called Remember the Milk. It's the one everybody knows, and it's really, really cool. It's fairly basic, it's just a to-do list, but there's a whole amazingly huge ways of getting your things into Remember the Milk. It's terrific. However, there does have some slight little downfalls, being that I don't think it's very pretty, and that's sort of important to me. So moving on, let's take a look at something very similar to Remember the Milk, called Todoist. Todoist is another online web app thing with a heap of ways to connect to it, but I just think it's prettier. It's more minimalist and fun. They all work basically the same way. You add tasks, you can categorize them into projects and things like that, and I really, really like it. Truth be told, there's not that much variation in this category of to-do lists. They're all basically the same. They are to-do lists, but there are some things that some do better than others. For example, Remember the Milk has heaps of different ways you can import into it, and Todoist is prettier. Finally though, this is my favourite to-do list app, and it's one that you guys have also suggested. It's called Wunderlist, and the thing I love about this is it's a native app for a heap of different platforms. I love web apps, but I don't love web apps as much as I love really awesome native apps. It runs on Mac, PC, Android, iOS, Spaceship. Okay, maybe not Spaceship. But seriously, it runs everywhere, it's really cool, and I love it. It's also very pretty, which, as we've already established, is incredibly important when it comes to applications. Moving on though, let's talk about notes. Evernote is my favourite note-taking application. It is amazingly good, and it's a lot like Wunderlist in that it is a native application, also a web application, and it exists everywhere. Seriously, they've got a native platform for almost everything, including Spaceship. It's really, really, really awesome, and I suggest you try it out. It's basically like carrying a notebook around with you everywhere you go. However, another web application called Springpeg takes the analogy of the notepad even further. It's sort of a hybrid in that it also does notes as well as tasks and all kinds of cool things you can, and it's categorized in different notebooks, and they all have their own different style, and it's really pretty and I like it very much. But moving on, here are your offline things that you suggested. First of all, notebooks. I love notebooks. Notebooks are really, really cool, and I still use them all the time to plan out everything I do, basically, because I just like writing with pens. Seriously, notebooks are good. I carry one everywhere. I love notebooks. I tend to use notebooks and notepads more for real-time immediate planning stuff, and then all of the online stuff, I tend to use that for more long-term keeping track of things because I'm terrible with paper. You also said that you just used like the notepad application on your computer or the notes app on your phone, which I never really thought of my phone. I don't think it came with a notes app, or if it did, I didn't like it. I definitely don't like the notes app on iOS devices because the font reminds me of Comic Sans and makes me want to shoot something. A whole heap of you also suggested whiteboards, which I love. Seriously, whiteboards? They are the coolest. I also love whiteboards. It looks like it says low. Supposed to be a C. And then finally, a whole bunch of you said you just remembered stuff, which I don't like doing because it clogs up my brain and then I can't think. So yeah, in the end, this turns out to be rather not a very good episode. But I hope that you like the things I suggested, and the whiteboard, and the notebooks. So, until next time, I've been Dominic Mulligan, and this has been TGIF. Remember, if you've got anything to submit for the next episode, which will hopefully be better, make sure to do it at our Twitter, or Facebook, or email, or Reddit. Wow, we've got a lot of things. Or you could just comment. That also works, and is probably the easiest. So yeah, bye! What are you doing looking there? That's a lie. You don't want to be looking there. You want to be looking at the background. Much better.